Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. I love and appreciate you being here with me and taking the time, first and foremost. I am reading for you, Leo. I'm reading every single sign's February reading, and you are next. So I'm excited. I always get excited. And I'm wearing the red gloves that represents the very, very fiery, passionate, very, I'm trying to put one of them on. That's what's going on down here. No, I would say out of all the zodiac signs, you are very much one of the most passionate, if not the most passionate sign. Beautiful Leos. And I also know that you probably have somewhere, even if you have no hair at all anymore, you probably recognize that beautiful mane that I can see from very far away for anybody that has any kind of a placement in Leo. That's what I love about astrology too. Every single sign has a physical portion of the body that represents them. And with you, it's that gorgeous hair. Oh my gosh, what I wouldn't do. I have one Leo placement. We all do. When you look at the, the whole house tropical astrology that I tend to lean towards, and a lot of astrologers do. I'm an enthusiast when it comes to astrology, and I'm learning more and more every day. I do mention astrology with my readings, just so you know. For those that are new, I have a format that I like to stick to. And I have a chakra check that I do before every reading. And those are the energy centers within our body. And it's just kind of a focus on that particular chakra of the day. And a little saying that goes along with it to keep it open and removing blocks from it so that we are our best, full, holistic selves. Then I correlate the crystal with that. I will be doing a Celtic Cross layout this month again in February for all signs. And I'm using this beautiful pink deck in honor of the month of February, which is known as the month of love. And yes, February 14th, where we celebrate Valentine's Day, has a lot to do with it, and I know it's commercialized, but it does, and it is an impetus to remind us just how powerful and important love is, and not just romantically, but in every aspect of our life. Love is where it's at, for sure. And I do like to finish with a beautiful animal oracle message, and then I finished with one last card. I changed the decks, of course. This deck is called the Simple OK Tarot deck. And I just love it because it is, in fact, one of the more simpler decks I've ever used, but very potent nonetheless. The energies are still just as important and as active. And then I'm going to finish with the Motivational Manifesto message in conclusion for your reading. So these are running about 30 plus minutes, but I want to streamline it for you so you have full attention on Leo and the energy and what you might be able to expect during the month of February. Okay, so let's start with the beautiful chakra check. This was the chakra, which was the third eye, which showed up twice back to back, even though I bring it under the table here and just do a little shuffle. I don't have any rhyme or reason for anything. Spirit always leads me in all my readings. I always bless my decks and make sure that I'm giving clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm as excited as the next person to see what the messages are. You may resonate right away. You may just hopefully feel an inspiration that comes through the messages. It's very energetic. You have free will at all times. There's no absolute in spiritual readings. I'm a long-time psychic intuitive tarot reader. I do get channeling and I do have messages come through, and I will incorporate them as well. But for you, yes, there is your passion. There's the red, of course. I love this. This is very synchronistic for you. Didn't plan that out, you see right before your eyes. But I will tell you that represents the first chakra, and that's such an important aspect of all of everyone's lives. But this is for you, Leo, and this is the first chakra, the base chakra, sitting at the base of your spine, all the chakras moving upward. And I will read to you what it says specifically and what's important. Should you feel, as I mentioned earlier, maybe not quite the full strength that you want to feel in this area, or, you know, there's a blockage of any kind, or even if you're feeling just like $1,000,000 and feeling all of the things that it reads, it never hurts to just kind of go over this in your mind. I do a little chakra check every day before I start my day to clear it out, to get the messages I need, to open my heart, you know, to speak my truth, and so on and so forth. But once again, the first chakra, which starts from the bottom upward, and it says, the presence of spirit is solidly rooted in my body. I have the right to be here, and my life is abundant with love, comfort, and vitality. And my goodness, I've known a lot of Leos. I have 2 Leo brothers growing up, both incredibly talented. They are the actors, after all, of the zodiac. They like to take the lead. Once again, you are a fire element, and you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of drive, a lot of talent. You are a fixed sign, so you tend to stay pretty much in your lane, and I wouldn't say you're not open to ideas, but you don't really want to budge too much in that regard. It depends. There's a lot of variables there. And certainly what other planets you may have in your natal chart, as I mentioned earlier. And I recommend very highly that you watch your sun, moon, rising, definitely Venus, the planet of love, and Mercury. I don't know that a lot of readers include Mercury, but Mercury is the planet that represents our minds and our ability to communicate. Now, speaking of Mercury, we are presently, as I speak a little bit about the astrological aspects happening in real time, we are presently in the sun season of Aquarius. That is your polar opposition, Leo. There's always a vibrational pull in some form when it comes to the complete oppositional planet that is directly, let me just show you a little example. It's 6 signs away from us from either side. There are 12 astrological signs, okay? Now, ironically, we have eclipses every year, and they run in pairs. So it's both the north and the south nodes, which represent the eclipse and the astrological sign of that particular series. And we just started the change from Aries north node, Libra south node, meaning north node, the head of the dragon, where we want to go, where we're facing, our ideals, our inspirations, our dreams, our manifestations. And then the south being the part of us we want to release, to remove, to cut out, to, purge. And there's a lot of that going on for the next 18 months with the north node in Pisces, one of the most spiritual, loving, compassionate, dreamy, just incredibly creative signs. And then south node in Virgo. And that's definitely about, grounded, complete oppositional, energies that work very well together. And so before I get off the beaten path too much, to simplify it for you, you being a Leo have the Aquarian energy, there you are, right across being that polar opposition that's always kind of just this magnetism's there. There's usually a lot of attraction. Opposites do attract often. I've studied the compatibility of astrology signs since I was 12, and there's a lot to share there, which I hope to do a few series and share with you. If you're interested, let me know. But nevertheless, Aquarius season affects you in the way that you are fixed, as is Aquarius. You are a fire sign. Aquarius is an air. Now, as far as those 2 elements go, fire and air, they're very, very complementary, as different as they are. And when you think about it, and I use this as an analogy, when you have a bellows, they're called, back in the day, the bellows, that you would squish out the air, if you will, excuse my definition and explanation. When having a fire, you would put as much air on that fire as possible so that it would ignite the fire more and just let it, grow and create the heat that's so beautiful when used and utilized in a safe and proper way, right? Well, that's the same with these 2 elements when they get together. I mean, they can just fuel that fire and just inspiration coming from nowhere, and creativity and ideas and just powerhouse kind of energy. Or overkill, you know, too much air. It would eventually create so much fire that it would cause, you know, danger of sorts. And then, you know, the fire putting out the air and, you know, kind of smothering it in a way that it wasn't able to be as expressive. It would be, you know, it would be dormant or something of that nature. You get the idea. So it's all about the balance. It's always about the balance in our lives in all ways. And that's just kind of letting you know that even with Mars, which is a very important planet for you, it's the hottest, the fieriest, the most, you know, spirited. It is the planet that rules Aries, your fellow fire sign, and then the third fire sign being Sagittarius. So it's been in retrograde, and it was in your sign, Leo. And then it went into retrograde from the 6th of December through the 6th of January. It then went back into Cancer, where it originally started back in August, in retrograde still through the 23rd of February. I'm sure you can relate to the fact that you felt energetically, you know, blocked, perhaps a little stifled. You thought, oh my gosh, what's coming on? I mean, I know I'm getting older, we all are, but this is ridiculous. And yet, I mean, it didn't stop you completely. It just was a notable, in addition to wherever you are in the world, but for now in this northern hemisphere, we have winter, and it's darker earlier, and it's cold, and it's just all of those factors. That hibernation kind of feeling has really been particularly strong with this Mars in retrograde. Well, it's going direct, and I know you're going to feel, and you're already going to start to feel, it'll start to get closer and closer to the 23rd of February. And man, when that happens, and I mean, you make things work regardless. You have that strength. You are a leader. You are ruled by the sun, the biggest, beautiful star in the universe so far. And it's always there to remind us of our energy, our vitality. It's the yellow, the solar plexus, our confidence, our strength. It's coming back, okay? Please take note that I've mentioned that to you, so you don't have to feel it was anything personal. But either way, this is a beautiful time to just sit, prepare for that energy, prepare where you're going to go with it, because once it happens, you're going to hit the ground running. You like being active. You like I said, you like directing and leading. You know, that's what you do. That's your purpose. And you do it with a heart that is very, very concerned about people. Yes, you have a temper at times, of course. Nobody's perfect, and everybody has their highs and lows. And, you know, yeah, I was going to say energies that are higher energies and lower energies, but same idea. So yeah, there's some really beautiful things. Not to mention, this is really important, I always bring up the moon, you know, aspects and the signs from the new and the full moon. Now, we just had the beautiful new moon on the 29th of January, and that was in Aquarius. So you definitely are probably feeling very much about new horizons, you know, beginning things. You want to write things down at a new moon. I hope you did. But there's chance for another one at the end of February. They always happen, the new and the full and new, whatever. A couple of months there, though, in the past, in 2024, we had 2 new moons, which is, it's unusual, you know, but it's really great because it's just that much more inspiring. So for you, we have a full moon happening in your sign, Leo, on the 12th of January. So write that down, because it always shines a light when it's the full moon. It's the culmination of things. It's the ending of something to renew and start again, you know, and just, it's a continuum in our life. And it's what personally keeps me motivated as a human being or a spirit in a human body, right? I have a fire moon. Boy, I get revved up because it's generally not my main energies, and it's not my main, what am I trying to say? What is it? Fire element. It's not my main element. I have 3 in fire, but that's not really the issue. My point is that all of us are going to feel this desire to be more sociable, to get out, to fire up those engines again, because it's been a little slower start for this new year, right? And it's all happening in the month of love. So there's a lot of romance that could be involved. There's a lot of self-love. There's a lot of love of your creativity, because that North Node in Pisces is all about that, all about your creative juices flowing, your intuitive gifts that we all have can really reach a very, very high point where you're astounded by your dreams and the prophetic things that are coming through, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's true what we've been reading and hearing. 5D, where it's just going to become a lot more natural for people to read each other's minds and to know what you're thinking, and to really feel and immerse themselves in this wonderful aspect of that we all have. Don't be surprised if you turn a little bit more to that spiritual side to you this year, and then onward, okay? For the next 18 months anyway, with this beautiful eclipses, as I mentioned, in Pisces and Virgo. So I mentioned this now as far as the chakra and the first root, and to feel grounded and strong, and all of those are you anyway. And then I'm going to read the actual wonderful message for the correlating crystal that goes with it for the root, and it's grounded, healthy, and strong. It's the red jasper, which means I am healthy, strong, and stable. And stable is important, right? In a world that's ever fluctuating anyway, and especially now where things are happening, there's a lot of fires happening. That's not a coincidence, you know, retrograde Mars, there's a lot to it. You can look into it, and you can listen to readers that are phenomenal who study astrology for many, many, many years. On the collective aspect, the mundanes, they would call that astrology. But yes, so the beautiful full moon in your sign will really bring you in a place where you're like going to be really instinctually knowing the right way to go and how to get there. And then the last new moon, of course, on the 27th, the day before the end of February, is in Pisces again. So there's that love, and there's that compassion, and there's that desire to just be selfless and to sacrifice things, you know, really just willing to give up stuff just to have that sense of how may I help you? Like so many people have been doing during these incredible, difficult times. So I love it. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I am going to put the appropriate crystal in this beautiful gift set that I got, which I wear to infuse the reading because it works for me. I've always loved and appreciated the effects and the energies of crystals, and they're so varied. You can look up and see. I want to incorporate them more and speak about them more to help teach people about it. But here's the little bag, and it comes with all of the different chakra stones. And so, as I mentioned, you are talking about the red jasper. It's a beautiful, beautiful crystal that is just so perfect for grounding energy. And it's you can see it. It's a little oranger, but it's a beautiful one. There's different forms and different types of most crystals. So let me sneak this in here, and we'll get going on your reading. Okay. Now, I'm going to be doing, if I didn't mention it already, I'm going to be doing the Celtic Cross. If you're new at my channel, welcome so much. I appreciate you. If you're returning, thank you for returning and supporting my channel. New and returning, anything you can do to support is so important. Primarily liking, subscribing, and sharing the video, because that's what YouTube wants to see, for me to continue to do my readings for you. And all of it's free. I do this from my heart to yours. It's what I'm very passionate and have been for very, very many years. And I just hope that you feel a kinship and a natural resonance with me, if that makes you feel comfortable, because that's the most important thing. With many readers out there, you know, that I have at least 5 or so that I like to tune into, and it's nice because I feel comfortable, and that's the most important thing. So we'll go on with the reading here, as I mentioned, and I'm going to move these away. I'll explain every single placement of each card. I have definitely shuffled the cards, and I've asked to receive clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody involved. Remember, you may resonate right away, but you may not. And just, you know, give it time. Allow the messages to kind of sink in and marinate, if you will. Because sometimes you can realize and you can check back with the reading and you'll think, oh my gosh, I remember Marianne mentioned that, or write it down, whatever works for you. Pretty fun, pretty exciting. Okay, so the first card is going to be the overall energy. That's the center card, leading you to this reading. King of Swords. Well, there's that Aquarius energy. Not to mention, which I didn't, Pluto was in Capricorn for many, many years, and predominantly in the last, what was it, 16, 17, since 2008. A lot of changes happening in this universe, which always happens, in increments. That's what astrology is. It's cycles. It's, returning of cycles. It's new cycles that haven't ever been established or experienced like we are having this year, which we'll talk about each month. If you come back, I would love to share this information. It's phenomenal to know that we're here at this particular time. But the king is absolutely the most mature in the court cards of the tarot. And it is all about our minds. It's our thoughts. It's ways to think and to grow and to learn and to experience and communicate. And it's creative and it's truthful and it's honest and it cuts away extra BS, which I think you can appreciate, Leos. I've known a lot of Leos and love them for their, just authenticity. I know actors are actors. I have brothers that are actors. They're Leos. But the thing is within that is a genuine, desire to be truthful and real. And that's what you want in return. Once again, there's that air element that I think is going to be, if not already in your life, which would make perfect sense to me, just this beautiful feeling that you've reached a place where you communicate the best you have with a significant other or great friend or work partnership. Messages are coming through and you can trust that they will be genuine and forthright and fair. It could be court, of course. It could be all sorts of things in the higher realms as far as, businesses and doctors and those sort of things, which I am not. And full disclosure and disclaimer, I should say, not a doctor, not a financial expert, nothing. I read energy. I have for many, many years. I express what the meanings of the cards are, and I'm a messenger. I'm a conduit for that, okay? And so that I want to leave that at that. But so then I'm going to cross this with the card that represents blessings or blocks. 3 of Pentacles. Now this came up with the last reading in Cancer, so that's interesting. You could have Cancer placements as well, but this is an earth element. This is your sustenance. This is your tangible, money. It's work. It's partnerships. It's what you do to keep yourself comfortable and to be, financially well off and so forth. And the 3 is a beautiful indication. It's like you can almost see it as I hold this up as a triangle, which is what kind of the universal law is. It's a triad. But I won't go into depths about that, only to say that it's about growth. It's about maturity. It's about mastering. And it's about with other people. It's not an inside job. You can have your own individual opinions, as all 3 of you can, but somehow you work together and you want it to just continue to build. And that's exactly what will happen. This is one of the best cards that represents mastery. This and the 8 of Pentacles. So yes, something you've been doing, you want to do, you've started and want to continue is definitely going to bring in money, and it's going to be something you're feeling very, very good with. And you get along well with the people in ways of communication and so forth. The only block versus the blessing is maybe not allowing that or listening to other, people's words and opinion. That's essential when working together, of course. And the Aquarian energy for the next 20 plus years and on is working in groups. It's entrepreneurial endeavors, but working to help each other and all of us out, to find that fairness that has been lacking for so long. So I really love this. Let's continue on. This is next, your foundation card, and there's the Magician. we're getting similar cards, even though I shuffled them. I'm being asked to shuffle a little bit more, but they're all in different placements. And this is such a beautiful, beautiful card to get in your foundation, your base, your root chakra. This meaning that you have the ability. My other Leo brother was a magician who, is no longer with us, but this is so ironic. And it's having all the gifts, all the tools. It shows every single one of the elements, the fire, the earth, the air, and the water right there, right for your use, right for your, your talent, your gifts, your manifestations. You got this. You're being asked to recognize that and to utilize this. This is a very potent year for this, okay? I love it. I believe in magic. And I think we all have a little bit of magic that we can create in our lives, and I think we do. And this year is not going to be any exception, and quite the opposite. But don't take my word for it. Let's continue on. Then we have your past, and we have the 8 of Swords. So this is the mind. This is the air again. And that's the thing about air, is that the air elements generally are in their head most of the time. This is how they operate. This is how they see the world. This is how they're able to, make conclusions, how they like to study and think and see all different areas and aspects. But the bottom line is, sometimes, as an air sign myself, it's good to let go of the constant thoughts that aren't necessarily helpful or inspirational. It's a sign with the 8, which is the most abundant number in numerology. It has such great potential as long as we don't get in our way, as long as we don't sabotage ourselves. It's really that simple. We all have a tendency to think things that aren't necessarily going to occur, but we have that fear. It's kind of innate in us at times. We see other circumstances happening. We think, oh, what about me? That's happening a lot right now. Feeling extremely blessed that I'm not in the position that many, 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 many people in LA have been experiencing. But recognizing anytime something happens, it's something we can learn from, right? And not taking a fearful approach like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck and I don't know what I would do. And no, the moment you feel that, and I said it before, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic or rude in any way, but I was like, snap out of it, meaning that's my tool. I take a snap, and that snap is like this power of suggestion where I just say, no, I'm in control of that. I'm not in control of a lot of things, but I'm definitely in control of where my thoughts go. And believe me, I've been on the side of this far too many times to even discuss with you, but I'm changing that, and I lower my thoughts to my heart, and I open up my heart. Let's see if we have that element coming through for you, which I'm pretty sure we will, as a major, passionate player of the zodiac, the Leos or Lionesses. So let's see here. Let's see if those cups come up for you. Well, it just so happens to be the next card. So this is the present. Don't be concerned. Don't be worried. That is part of your past. You are leading into this reading, which I love, because there's a new moon and another new moon and another opportunity to write down your intentions and to really believe in your strength and your ability to create things simply by the way you think in many ways. But the Knight are the messengers of the zodiac, the tarot. And the Knight of Cups is about love. It's about fulfillment. It's about being in tune with your emotional self, okay? So important, definitely, for manifestation. One, the mind is important for visualization. You've probably heard this a lot. It's very much a part of manifestation. The heart is what, and our emotions are what really push it through to tangible. To reality. It's not one, it's not another. It's even more than that, but it's those two especially. As I said, when I'm caught up in my head, I ask to please remove it from my mind and into my heart. The most intelligent, intuitive muscle of our body, not the brain, which I thought forever. I thought all these downloads and these thoughts and these words, it's strictly up here, but many times it's from here and it goes up there, So yeah, you've got some messages coming, and it has to do with love of some form. And I hope, if nothing else, it's definitely about you recognizing the importance of loving self. We need to understand the potency of that. When we care about every aspect and we treat ourselves like we would treat our good friends and the people we love, or the animals, like my cat looking at us right now, who brings so much beautiful, loving, intuitive, spiritual energy as a Taurus. Yeah, I'm talking about you, mister. His name is Eclipse. Anyway, yeah, this is golden, all right? Hold on to that. Let's see what else it has to say for your future. The Emperor. My goodness. Once again, it definitely is a revision of the last reading. So I kind of really am asking you to, if you have a moment or you feel so inclined, or you know that you have placements in Cancer, read this. It's similar, but it's in different ways. So that says that's a double way for the universe to be inviting you to recognize these messages, okay? This is a major arcana. This is a major arcana. Yeah. The rest are the court messages and so forth. But the major arcana, the Emperor, is the fellow fire sign I brought up. Ruler, Mars ruling Aries, first sign of the zodiac. I mean, many times I've seen many relationships, whether it be friendship or work partnership, fire, man, power. You got to be careful. You got to be able to hear and listen and work together, of course. And that can be done. It really, really is up to you. But I feel there's this really strong, confident feeling of you that maybe had felt like it left you during the retrograde of Mars, or whatever reason. It may have been so many reasons and things that can make you feel that way. Have no fear. It is absolutely there. There's a lot of changing going into the planets, where Aries is going to be very much in the forefront, and that energy for all of us, but especially you as a fellow fire sign, taking back that power, okay? It's on. It truly, truly is. And we had the last eclipse that was in the series of North Node Aries, South Node Libra, that just stopped, as of January 11th, when it went into Pisces, North Node, Virgo, South Node. And the last eclipse of the series will be on the 29th of March in Aries, okay? Very important, very potent. New, fresh starts. The cardinal aspect of Aries is that, ushering in of spring. It's considered the first new year of the year with astrology. It starts with Aries in March, so building up to it, right? A few retrogrades happening. We have, luckily, Mars, like I said, is going direct, but we do have, and I believe Uranus, but I don't know the exact date, but it's happening in February too. So I think it's the 30th. Listen, this is powerful stuff. I can't wait for you to share if you choose to do so. But let's continue on. So we have the Three of Swords, which is in the position of kind of what your thoughts are in general, not the overall energy like the center, which of course pertains to you and has a lot to do with the energy for the reading in itself. But this is kind of what I like to say your peripheral vision, what you've been seeing and what you're kind of feeling as we go into this reading for the month of February. And the Three of Swords is the healing card, in my opinion, because you've been wounded. There's no doubt about it. The main point about this card is it's already occurred. The swords usually are depicted in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck as being directly inside the heart. So yes, you have been hurt, you are definitely healing, and most of the time, I would say in this particular position, you're looking back at it like, thank goodness I got through that. It is definitely in the rearview mirror, okay? And I hope you to keep it there, because it just proves how incredibly strong we are and how very strong the heart is. I can't think of one person I've ever met, certainly at this age, that has not had their heart hurt in some way or form. Maybe you've lost a loved one, and many of us have. My heart goes out to you. I speak to my parents I lost in the month of January, 22 years ago now and 18 years ago. Both leaving in the month of January, ironically, and both at the same age, which was way too young in my opinion. Healing, healing, healing. Okay, so that's your objective. And that's what's going to carry you through. And with flying colors. And then we have your environment. And you have the Five of Swords. Okay, so this is another thing. This is perfect for the healing. The Five of Swords is inner turmoil a lot of times. It's conversations you have with yourself. Once again, the air element, our minds, ruminating about things and deciding, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be plagued with past history BS that's happened, okay? I want to remove myself. I'm consciously making that effort. I don't want to hear about gossip anymore. I don't want to create gossip. I just want to move forward in a much, much better, more higher vibrational energy. And that's exactly where you're being led, okay? So if you feel that you've been around that or you're still around that, very simple to just say, no mas, okay? I will not engage. Those are the words I really like to use lately. I will not engage. So anyway, moving along, we have your Hopes and Fears card, and it is the Hierophant. How beautiful. The Hierophant is also, once again, right next to the Emperor. It is a major arcana. Very important information that the universe wants you to know. The Hierophant represents Taurus, the sign of Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus. It's coming back, going direct, and it'll change this year. Another huge change. Since 2008, I think it's been in Taurus. It's going into Gemini in latter part of July, I believe. This is our higher power. This is a mentor. This is some kind of religious rite. You may have a whole different perspective on religion or, metaphysics. It's a spiritual time with that North Node in Pisces, the most spiritual sign of the zodiac. Like in other realms, just knowing and understanding and just many lifetimes and wanting to share and impart that information. Watch and see how that grows. It's far more common conversation as far as meditation these days. YouTube is blown up with readers. It's ridiculous. I started watching about 10 years ago. There were, I don't know how many, but there were way less. And now it's everywhere. It's just what it is. It's the sign of the times. It's the spiritual aspect that's always been there, coming to the forefront. It is our saving grace and our beautiful co-creation at all times, should we decide to use it. So I love that. Don't be fearful of that. That's a hope and fear. It's not a fear. It's knowing that you yourself have this incredible guidance that's always there. Just listen to that. It'll be very strong. Dreams will be stronger. You wait and see. Now, this is the outcome. Ace of Cups. Woo! There's that emotion again. But there's love. There's promise. There's new beginnings. It doesn't matter how you've been injured or hurt. It doesn't matter what's happened. What matters is right now, and you have the strength and the courage and all of the tools. You've got messages pertaining to a certain someone, maybe someone's, and maybe you're going to pop the question. Maybe you're actually going to take it to the next level, whatever that may be for you. Maybe you're going to decide, yes, you are the perfect work partner. And it's hard to come by those, right? But they're going to be there for you. The options are going to be there for you. And it's a new day and a new dawn. And we always have those opportunities. We're continuously transforming, right? A lot of positive energy this year for you, Leo. So let's go on, as I said, with the messages as I go past the time, as usual. I get very passionate myself when I want to talk to you about, just the influences and the ways that we can utilize these energies, should we choose to do so. And so I'm going to just pick it and just show you what I'm talking about. They're beautiful. They're big. Really beautiful pictures and amazing sayings and explanations. So many times now with the readings, they have been so synchronistic with the whole main messages, I should say, of the reading. So for you, beautiful Leos, We have the snake. And I love that because we are officially, as of January 29th, in the Chinese horoscope in the year of the snake. So you're very in tune to that too. Your intuition, like I said, is spot on. The snake represents the ability to shed our skin, to renew, to revive, to get places and kind of that are harder to get to than most animals, kind of not slithering, but just like going and allowing yourself to see and be in environments you may not have been in before, but to be very perceptive and to be very aware, and to watch and just be on alert, because you're going to have extra central perception, and you'll know when something doesn't feel right. That's saying, no, I'm not going to continue with that energy in whatever form and in whatever way that works for you. So let me read to you what it says, and I'll put this right in the center. That is so perfect. It's also 2025, so it is a 9 year. So that is absolutely about completions, and just one of the most spiritual numbers as well. It's like you've reached, it only goes 1 through 9, and that's 10, which take away the 0, it becomes a 1 again in numerology. So you're reaching that end, that culmination, the thing that you've worked so hard all these other years is finally coming to fruition for you. So it's just beautiful. Now the snake says, let's see here, because it is alphabetical, and it says the words associated: healer, renewal, earth whisperer. Snake is the healer, transforming negative experiences into healing medicine, sliding through craggy rocks, walls, and fallen branches. Snake moves and matures, gliding silently, smoothly, belly upon our earth. Snake whispers that in order to survive, you must grow. And in order to grow, you must move amongst the friction of life. Leaves, prickers, and jaggy stones. Experiences that seem to scratch you. Bitter medicine is what helps you out of your old skin. It's true. The old scales don't serve you anymore. Negative, uninvited, cynical, hateful, fears and wounds, and you get it. Well, they're being replaced with gratitude and love for the mystery of mysteries. That is our experience, our existence, and breath. Steer your thoughts, wriggle free, and give thanks so you can be renewed. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, that's the ace, and that's definitely, your magic powers and your strength and your, once again, passion. It's all there. Absolutely love this reading for you. It is by far an incredibly transformational, but very positive recognition of everything said there, and how, you don't want this, and you are the one in control, and you are anyway, Leo. So congratulations on that. It's never, you never know when it'll actually finally take place, but it does. So I'm going to read once again this last oracle, the Motivation Manifesto, as a closing note, and you might want to just take a little snapshot of it. You're welcome to do so, of course. And it says, if taking action towards our dreams before the perfect conditions arise, or before we receive permission, is unreasonable or reckless, then we must be unreasonable and reckless. I didn't expect that ending. Once again, if taking action toward our dreams before the perfect conditions arrive, or before we receive permission, is unreasonable or reckless, then we must be unreasonable or reckless, because it is time for you to take on your power, your strength, your emperor, and it's time for you to lead the brigade for yourself, for others, and take that chance and take that leap and be reckless, right? So absolutely love that. Let me hold that up one more time if you want to take a little snapshot. I greatly appreciate your time. It's very valuable, and I love you for it. And I'll be here every month. I also do a collective on Mondays if you want to tune into that. Appreciate your energy, and have a beautiful, beautiful February. Bye for now.